This guy's also wrong. You don't tariff a good that's a cheap Chinese substitute. You tariff it because it's an affordable substitute that is far too competitive because it's a better, oftentimes a better product. It's awesome, man. The level of confidence that these guys have while just being objectively wrong is always amazing. Here, let's watch Chris Broad for the time, or the Walter Masterson video that I've been meaning to watch in the time being, while I continue getting dressed up. Oh, Joe Rogan defends the fucking...
Pays the tariffs.
The Chinese government pays the tariff.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Here.
The government that is manufacturing that product, I just want it to be even. Instead of us paying 400% of tariffs.
How you doing?
Hey, good. I want to...
I'm an importer and exporter.
Yeah.
For 20 years.
Okay.
When a product comes into the US, there's something called a tariff sheet.
Okay. Look what Trump is talking about. He's eliminating the income tax and possibly going through tariffs. And people are so quick to...
Who pays the tariffs?
What?
Who pays the tariffs?
Foreign countries pay the tariffs. Okay. And let's talk about
No. Wait, we're talking about tariffs. So the product comes in from China, it gets on a ship,
right,
and then it comes in, and I'm the American manufacturer. I'm going to use that stuff from China. Who paid the tariff on it?
The Chinese government pays the tariff.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. You're thinking because you're paying more for that product. Because the Chinese product...
It's going to be more expensive. It is.
But look what's happening now, guys. You go to Europe. I travel to China often. I travel to Europe often. You don't see like a Buick in China. But you see these Asians, you see these BMWs, Audi, and all that. Why do you think?
I really need you to understand is who is paying the tariff?
He's wrong.
The government that is...
Buicks are popping in China. He's so wrong about that. What part? He got like even, dude. Once again, he got even like a super basic random thing wrong. Like Buicks are very popular in China. Buicks, I would say, are more popular in China than they are in America. This guy's out of his mind, dude. He's wrong.
Manufacturing that product is all we're saying is this. Look, I just want it to be even. Instead of us paying 400% of tariffs.
How you doing?
Hey, good. I'm
an importer and exporter.
Yeah.
For 20 years.
Okay.
When a product comes into the US, there's something called a tariff sheet.
Okay.
I, as the buyer of that product, follow US law and pay the tariff. Some goods are tariff-free. But when I pay that tariff, I'm an American citizen, an American taxpayer, right? That tariff might be 1%, it might be 7%, okay, it might be 14%. That means I'm a US company, I pay that tariff to the US government, and that increase in the cost of the product, I then sell to you for a higher price because I've got to cover that tariff.
Then what about... what do you say to the Europeans who allow us to not charge us as much tariffs as when our tariffs are higher when they go overseas as opposed to theirs coming here?
So tariffs are never a zero-sum game. Tariffs are a tool. So, for example, you might say, you want to sell us your beans, right?
Yeah.
We are going to give you a low tariff if you buy our corn, right? But the cost of the tariff is ultimately always borne by the consumer. The end consumer always pays the tariff.
But then don't you think at the end of the day there may be more competition within the market of the U.S. government if not only now there's not the cheap Chinese product coming in, but you also now have
this guy's also wrong. You don't tariff a good that's a cheap Chinese substitute. You tariff it because it's an affordable substitute that is far too competitive because it's a better, oftentimes a better product. It's awesome, man. The level of confidence that these guys have while just being objectively wrong is always amazing. He also thinks that like it's going to lower prices somehow. Like where are you getting this stuff from? I feel like some of it is like there's no are there even conservative commentators who are advocating for this? Like I feel like these guys are just like kind of operating on vibes. It's just what Trump has said. Because not only is it objectively untrue, it's also because trade protectionism is in most circumstances, I guess like trade protectionism can be anti-capitalist, like in a very meaningful way, right? So I feel as though when these guys are saying stuff like this, they're not even getting it from Fox News. Like maybe Sean Hannity, but I would be shocked if like Fox News commentators are like every night talking about how great tariffs are, because even they recognize that like there's other corporate donors of the Fox News to, you know, the Fox News empire that probably are not fond of these tariffs anyway.
Manufacturing. You're confusing the question. This is not a question of competition. The point we're discussing is who bears the cost of the tariff.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you if it's good policy for the U.S. government to tax beans and for the Chinese government to tariff corn. I don't know if there's any you can't compare those. That's beyond my expertise. But what I can absolutely assure you on my eyes is that a product that comes into the U.S. is paid for by a U.S. company, and the increased cost of that is borne by all of us.
I can't.
That has never.
I can't count. I am
an importer and exporter. I do it for a living.
Okay.
I have a tariff sheet that's bigger than 500 Bibles.
Then what's the alternative? If at one point in our history, in our country's history, it was tariffs that paid for our economy.
Tariffs don't pay for your economy.
But they did. We didn't have income.
March thinks that this is going to be a very interesting situation that we're getting ourselves into. For the record, I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be weird, but I'm like weird in a good way. Okay, March is going to do the swappy poo right now. That's the last thing that this camera has seen. Hold on. Laptop camera, no, my penis. And that was what the camera was pointed at before it just does a screenshot of the last frame before it goes off. Yeah, and it's just my penis. Awesome. Glad you guys got to see that. I'm not. It's just hog. It's just hog, my man. Yeah, with hog. Little Arnold Palmer action. All right, let's keep playing this video.
Before income taxes, the country survived by tariffs.
That was before we had municipal infrastructure.
Correct.
I mean, we did not have...
And also the issue of like, well, the competition argument that...
Oh, she was? Okay, well, let's get fucking Will lined up, too. Tell him to dress up in a Sunday best. And Austin, if she has time.
American products are going to be in the marketplace a little more is, I think, kind of bullshit, because the reason we get so much from China is because their labor laws are so poor and they can afford to pay people like shit for shit quality products. Correct. If you want American goods in circulation, they're already going to cost more because we have better labor laws and we take care of our workers. So if you want American products in the marketplace made cheaper through tariffs, you're going to have to really screw American workers, pay them less, give them less benefits, no health care. Like, it's not a good idea to have 100% American-made products because it'll be so expensive, and you're already complaining about high prices.
I don't think the effort is suggesting that it's only 100%. What they're saying is make it a even playing field. My understanding is that the tariff is lopsided to benefit other countries as opposed to ours. The suggestion is just to bring it up to make it equal. That's it.
You're framing this in a way that doesn't make any sense. Tariffs are not about equalization, right? They're about access to the marketplace.
Okay.
So you cannot say, like, for example, a company in the U.S. may feel that a certain technology from a different country is advantageous. They can sell it here at a profit, right? That doesn't mean that the U.S. government or some Chinese or German or Australian company has some kind of like equalization calculus that they're engaging. Oh, because we're sending our products there, therefore it's good that we're bringing it. That's not how tariffs work. That's not how tariffs work.
But the trade relationship between two countries, tariffs come into play with the trade relationships between countries.
That's why you have free trade agreements, right? But it doesn't mean that even within the free trade agreement, there are not tariffs. There are multiple millions of tariff agreements between countries. The European Union may have free trade agreements within it, but there are products that go out that are still tariffed.
Yes.
But it's still the consumer. But the consumer, I absolutely assure you, I do this for a living. The consumer bears the cost. Now, it may be that an imported product, even with a tariff, supplants a domestic product. But you don't want that because that's going to affect American jobs. if there's one thing you should take away from this extended conversation is you are always paying the tariff. Me, you, everyone here is always paying the tariff.
Fair enough.
There is no economic reality in contradictions.
I love that this video, which is like the most basic explainer of how tariffs work from an importer exporter that I guess happened to be there, or maybe Walter brought him in, has gotten 1.4 million views in 2 days. It is such a simple fact. It does not make any sense how people do not understand or recognize the simplest of facts. Okay? It's so strange. I have been talking about this non-stop. Okay? And for some reason, there's no countering Republican propaganda. Okay? There's no countering the Republican propaganda. When Trump says this is the way it is, people are going to go, that's the God King. He said it, so it must be the case. It is so stupid. Why are people like this? Why do they not operate? Why do they choose to refuse to reckon with reality? Reality that they will be experiencing whether they like it or not. And I suspect once they do experience that reality, as we talked about earlier with like propaganda initiatives and how certain narratives that don't correspond to reality, what will people do? Predictably, they will turn around and they will find an alternative reason for why it's happening. They'll turn around and they'll say, oh, this is because of immigrants. This is because of the transgender woke mind virus. Okay, great stuff. No, this isn't my rockabilly fit. I do have a rockabilly fit as well. But yeah, but I'm not going to bring it upstairs. I can run downstairs, grab it, and come back up. Did you finish the video? No, I'm finishing it right now, and then we're moving out to the style portion of the broadcast.
Not educated in that? Fair enough. I'm willing. Yeah, okay.
I really love your work, man.
All right, thank you.
All socials. It's great to meet you.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
It was a pleasure.
Let's go.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Can I get a
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
No. You, that was a fucking great video. It is the best.
Yeah.
It is always amazing. I love being.
Can we get a photo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
As Japanese